Good morning, everybody. It's me, Tracy-Lee. I am sitting at the park today. Found me a nice shady spot. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. But I wanted to come back and finish up the Surprise Amigurumi that I have going on right now. I'm on part 3, and if you've made it through part 1 and part 2, you probably already know what we have going on. So today we are going to do the assembly. I have my water in front of me. Very essential, especially on these hot days. It is July 3rd, and right now it's sitting right about 80 degrees outside. Not too bad, but still want to stay hydrated. And then I have my bag in front of me, which I need to get my holder set up here on the picnic table, and my little parts that we are going to be putting together. And you're going to need some fluff. I just keep mine in a little Ziploc bag. Let's see. Going to need some black thread. This is a cotton crochet thread. I believe it is a size, maybe a 10. Anyhow, you can go up on it a little bit if you wanted to, or you can use just regular 4-ply yarn, but just black anyhow for the details. And you're also going to need, which I have my little handy dandy notebook here that has all my instructions that I wrote down. But you're going to need a tapestry needle. I have different sizes in here. I'm probably going to be using the larger one to sew everything together, and then the smaller one for the details. Alright, let me get you set up on this here, and we will get right to it. Alright. Alright guys, I got everything set up. I think I have it how I want it. I'm not sure. The sun might not cooperate with me, so I'm going to try my best. So on part 1, what we came up with, let's see. There's ants crawling everywhere, but we're in the park. What can you expect? On part 1, we worked. I have a long tail on here for sewing. Hang on. It might have all got all tangled up. Let's see. And I am sitting at the park. The boat landing is kind of almost right behind me, so it is going to be noisy from trucks. So just bear with me. I still am tangled up here. Should have done this before now, right? But I didn't. So life, it's all spontaneous, keeps it interesting. Okay, but anyway, part 1 we created this part here. This was part 1. So you should have one of these pieces here. And then part 2 was also a multicolor. So that would be this one here. Let's get it untangled from this mess. And there's the second part, the second piece. We need to piece together. And then we have this one here. And then, let's see, there should be, if I worked my pattern out right, there should be 4 smaller pieces and then 1 smaller piece than that. But I'm not sure if I did right or not. I didn't separate them like a ding ding. So let's see what we have. I'm going to put the 4 together that I think looks closest alike, and then the other one I'm just going to use it how I see fit. Let's see. They all look the same to me, guys, honestly. So I might have done them all the same. I don't really know. So I'm just going to take out one and set it aside, because yeah, these are feet. This will be a tail. All right, and obviously you can tell that's a head, right? I'm kind of giving it away, but like I said, if you have all your parts and if you've worked any type of amigurumi at all, then you probably already know what is going on. So let me get my larger tapestry needle here, and on these 2 pieces here, you want to sew the wrong sides together. What you see right here in front of you are the right sides. The wrong side is where you actually began your work, and you see it's a bit sloppy and you have a little cut off down here. Well, then we're going to be to the inside, so you don't have to worry about these. Okay, so just put these pieces right here together. I want to thread my tapestry needle, and how I do that is I simply twist my yarn, just twist it, and then whenever you bring it back down together, it just kind of rolls up together. Did you see that? And it makes it a little bit easier to go through the eye of your needle. All right, so pull that on through, pick up your 2 pieces, and what I like to do is I like to start attaching them like where the round ended. All right, so from here I'm going to take my tapestry needle and I'm just going to run down through the center of that very next stitch where the V is right here. I'm just going to go right through there, and I'm going to pull this yarn through. And kind of what that's kind of going to do is that's going to sort of kind of tuck that knot where you finish this piece off. It's going to kind of tuck it down in there, okay? If that makes any sense at all. And so now this is the piece number 1, where you worked in your rounds, and then you got to the very last and you worked into, like, what was it? Was it the front? Let me look back here. I think it was in the front loop only. Yes. On the first part, you worked in the front loop only. So we're going to sew our pieces together in the empty loop. Okay, let me pull this. Like right here is where we ended. Okay, this would be your first stitch here. So that is your back loop. You worked in the front loop, so these are your back loops. And then here is the back loop from where you finished off at. And we are going to be working in these empty loops here and the back loop of the V's on the second piece. I hope that made sense. So let's get started here. Okay, so I tucked my little knot in, kind of hid it away. So now I'm going to run my tapestry needle. The wind is blowing, shaking the camera. I apologize. Mother Nature. But at least it is not storming. Good grief. Don't want any of that going on today. So I run my hook through my back loop, and I'm going to cinch that up. And then I'm simply going to, I know there's a little step here, but that's okay. It'll all work out in the end, okay? I'm going to run that needle through that loop up above, and then through the back loop of my very next. Actually, I'm going to go into the back loop of the one that we actually started with, where we took where we hit our knot. Okay, I'm going to try my best to stay in frame. I can't really see my screen because of the sun, so I apologize now if this is all fumbly. But then I'm just going to go right back through in the very next stitch, back loop, and then the open loop. And it'll all tighten up once you get going. And just keep repeating this. I hope you can see it. If your work is kind of twisty, just kind of fiddle around with it. You can manipulate it enough to where you can work with it. Okay, go in that back loop of the next stitch, and then the empty loop from the one on the first part, and just keep working as that. I mean, just like that. Just keep sewing, just keep sewing, sewing, sewing. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Like I said, it's already 80 degrees out, but there's a nice breeze. Birds are chirping, the bugs are hollering, as you can tell. If you can hear them over me chattering, that is. But just keep doing this until you get, you know, about so far from the end, okay? Because then we're going to have to stuff it. Okay? Don't want to sew it all the way up before we get to stuffing it, because then you're kind of defeating the purpose of it being a stuffy. You should have an even amount of stitches. It may not look like it because, yeah, it just don't look like it. But trust me, it works out. So just keep on going. Through the empty loop up here, the back loop, and then the back loop on your bottom piece. Just keep doing that. And whenever I get to be, I don't know, I would say about 1.5 inches, 2 inches from the end, I'll be right back and I'll show you what we do next. All right, so keep on stitching it up. And I'll meet you over here. Alright guys, so I made it over here to the other side, and I left me a little bit of room, see? And now I'm going to get out my fluff. just start with a little, and you can do this however full. I like mine to be a little stiff, I guess you could say, more substantial. So I may be a little excessive with my amount that I use, but I don't know, it'll work out. So just stuff your fluff inside there. It kind of looks like a mouth. Waka 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 waka. Excuse me. It's early. Well, it's not that early, but I haven't had coffee, which you can probably be thankful for that, because if I have my coffee, then it's like, yeah, you get it. You get it. And so whenever you get your desired amount of fluff inside your piece, you just continue to go ahead and sew on around to this end here. And I think I want just a little bit more, because I want this to stand up, you know, a little bit more. All right, I think that should be about it. And plus, when you're sewing it up, you don't want your fluff to come out through your stitches. So right now, I'm just going to push it all down to one side and get it out of my way, because once I get it all sewn up, then I can fiddle with it and, you know, kind of shape it up. So picking my tapestry needle back up, I'm going to continue sewing these two pieces together in the same manner that we were doing before. And I apologize, my camera is wiggling because of the wind, but you know, that's Mother Nature. At least she's not raging today like she has been for the past few days. My goodness, I don't know if you've seen any of my videos where I've been working on my yard and getting Toad Garden set up and getting everything real cute like I wanted it. Well, Toad Garden was demolished because my swing, Mother Nature had different intentions on my yard, apparently, and knocked my swing over again, demolishing my Toad Garden. And yeah, just, I don't know how many more times my swing is going to be able to handle being flipped over. And so I don't know, I guess we're just going to have to stake that sucker to the ground, where maybe it won't break anyhow. But just keep sewing this around, and I have got up to where I started at. So just going to keep going. And you may, I mean, if you skipped a stitch here or there, then you may have to flub it, but you know what, fake it till you make it, guys. You can do this. It'll be okay. Nothing is perfect, so do the best you can, and that'll be great. See, on this very last, there is another stitch there because there is a hole. All right, so, but right here is where you fastened off at, so it's going to be pretty tight. So I just stick my nail through there and hopefully grab what I'm needing, which I did on the first try. That is amazing. And then I kind of pull these out a little bit and catch that very back, the last one on the top. And I hope I'm in frame, because like I said, the sun is on my screen, so you know how that is. It's really difficult to see what or where you're at. All right, so there is my first two pieces put together. So I'm going to finish these off. I'm just going to run back up and through, just to make sure that this is you know, secured. And we do still have a bit of extra yarn on our tail that we're sewing. And I'm going to go ahead and fasten this one off because I do have quite a bit on the top part. And your extra bits that you have, they will help with stability, and keeping things, you know, intact. And you get what I'm saying, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to fasten off like I normally would any other. So I'm going to, flip it around. There's, over to the right of me, there is a campground, and they cater to floaters on the river. So they stay really, really busy this time of year. And of course, we had the boat landing behind me, so it's like really busy. So I just did like 2 little knots, right? I'm going to stick my thumbnail there, and I'm going to give that yarn tail a pull, tighten all that up, and then you do still have that little knot there, but don't worry, because you take your yarn needle, your tapestry needle, back through that very same hole, and I like to excuse me, I like to run mine just across and give that a little pull, and it'll pull that little, and don't worry about this because that's going to be covered up. All right, give that a little pull, and it'll tuck that little knot right in there to where, you know, it won't be visible. And then from here, I just like to make sure everything is secured good, but I still want it to be hidden. So I'm taking it underneath, or through actually, these little stitches here, pull it through, locking that yarn in place between them stitches, and then I'm going to run it right back through that very same hole, come over here on the opposite side again, run it through, and I'm going to do that one more time just for security measures, just to make sure it's all secured down, locked down and locked in place. Run these through. Did you see how I did that? Pull it on through here, and again pull that up and go right through right there. And you can do this for as many times as you want. You can do it until you run out of yarn tail if you want. And like I said, that just makes this piece just a little bit more stable, and helps it keep its shape more. So, but for the sake of this video, I am going to go ahead and snip it off right there. Let me get in here. I didn't get my little scissors. I have my scissors hooked onto a keychain with a little clip, and then on the keychain there is a chain, and then I just put me some little stitch markers on there, so I'll have them handy. Because I don't know about you, but I'm losing stitch markers and stuff like all the time. All the time. That's why they come in such a big bunch when you buy them. That's my theory. Anyway, so just pull this up just a little bit and snip that tail. Alright? And then all you have to do is just wiggle it around a little bit, and that tail will just disappear. That little part that you just snipped off. Flies are biting. I've always heard that when the flies bite, that's a sign of rain. I know here in town, they didn't get the rain like we did out at the house. And they need it here. They really do. But, oh, the flies. The flies are driving me crazy. So I always keep all of my little scrap bits. So I'm going to throw that in my bag. I have already pre-stuffed my other pieces. So I am finished with my bag of fluff. So I'm going to get it closed back up. Get it put back away. And move on to this piece. Alright, again, I'm just going to continue using the same tapestry needle. And again, I'm going to give my yarn a twist. When you twist it like this, it twists back down over itself. See that? And it just brings it all tighter together to where it's easier to get through the eye of your needle. Alright, so on here, I like to sew this gap up here before attaching it to my piece. I don't know, to me it just seems like it may be a little bit easier. But you don't have to be so concerned about, if you were to leave it open, you don't have to be so concerned about grabbing, you know, 3 layers versus, you know, the 2. So I'm going to go ahead and close this part up right here, and I do that on all of the little pieces that I attach. Just letting you know. That way if you go ahead of me, that's what I do. You can do it however you want. This is your project. But decide which side you want. I'm going to go, I kind of smoosh it and mash it around and see what kind of shape comes about. And that's what I'm going to go with right here. I'm going to go with that right there. And yet again, I'm going to attach this piece here. This is why I was saying not to worry about, you know, this right here looking maybe a little sloppy, because it'll all work out. We're going to cover it up right now with this piece. So I'm going to lay this piece up against where our yarn tail is coming out on that top part, right? I'm just going to flip that back and get it out of my way, or flip it over, whatever. Whoa. I dropped it. But this is my bottom. I know it's all fluffed up and everything, but like I said, it'll work out. We will manipulate it and we will get everything to where it needs to be. Right now it just kind of looks like an awkward little pillow. Alright, I'm gonna set that piece on here, and I want to make sure that I cover up this little ugly fubbly bit right here. You can also take your needle and you can pull that and stretch it out. You know, you can, like I said, it's easily manipulated. So if it's not how you want it, just keep messing with it and you'll get it there. But I'm gonna set this on here, and I've already worked that through, so my yarn is coming out through the back side of this piece. Okay, so now I need to figure out where and how I want to align this. All right, and I think I'm gonna put it right here. Like, here's the dark purple, here's a lighter purple. It just don't look right to me right here, so I'm just gonna cover that part up with this piece and just hide it away. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run my tapestry needle, like, see where the ridge is right here. I'm going to run that tapestry needle right up and come up right at the back side of that ridge. I'm going to pull that in, which pulls our piece up. I want to make sure my piece is laying right. And then it's a little bit fumbly right here, but It'll work, I promise. Then I'm just going to go right back behind that ridge again, and I'm going to go back through that very next stitch. Did you see that? I'm going to pull that in, pull that piece up, and then again, it is still fumbly. Bear with me, guys. Go in that very next stitch on your piece. See what I did? Am I in frame? No, was I not? I can't tell. But give that a little pull, tighten it up. And then again, go in through the back of that ridge, the very next stitch. Pull up. And just continue doing that. Go back and forth, getting this little part sewn on. There's an ant crawling on my arm. I had one biting me a while ago, an ant too. Ugh. Oh, come on. Hang on. That ant was driving me crazy. Okay. Go back through. Alright. And then go through the next stitch on that piece there. Come out down here. And it is still, yeah, going to be floppy even after you get it all sewn together right here. But that's when we start, I mean, it's like, just keep sewing until you get it the way you want. Yeah, let's just keep going here. Just in and out, in and out. Some of these vehicles are squeaky and rattly and clanky. A little noisy, but that's okay. They're all here to have fun on that water. I'm allergic to the sun due to medication, so I don't get the, you know, the pleasure. I've had my time on that river though. Don't get me wrong. It is amazing. You will get burnt. You'll get burnt like a lobster. You will come out of that water a crispy critter indeed. Alright, I'm on my very last stitch. And now I want to go in that very last right here and go back up through where I just came out of. Give that a nice little tug. And it is sloppy right here for right now, but we will fix all that. We will fix all of that before we are done. Let me turn this. Okay, so whenever you get that attached, it's going to look like this. But we want it like this, right? You see what it is now, right? Alright, with that being said, let me show you what I have in my bag that I haven't showed you yet. I have been working on these on the side. And see how firm they are? They stand up on their own, just cute as can be. These little guys just need their details put on their face. So, we have all of our stitches. We have it all sewn in right here, right? On the bottom of the neck part. And we came out here. So, what we're going to do from here is we are going to use this yarn tail to go ahead and secure that head and neck portion on just a little bit tighter. I'm running underneath where that shell is, okay? And placing my yarn back over on this opposite side. So I'm gonna go back through the ridge of the shell, back behind the ridge of the shell. Get that other yarn tail out of my way. And then I'm going to, this is, you just play it by ear here, guys. Do it as you want. Really. I'm just going to grab that one piece of yarn right there. And then I'm going to take it back through and pull it up and out of the shell over here. It'll be okay. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. Well, there is a reason, but you know. And then I'm going to, since this is a different color, but kind of sort of different, but it kind of sort of matches up with this color here, but I'm still just going to run it underneath a couple stitches to secure it, just like that. Maybe a little tight, but it's all right. You got this. Pull that through, and then I'm going to go through that hole right beside it. All right, which side did we go in? We went in over here. So we want our needle, or our tapestry needle, to come out over here closer. There we go. The stitch right next to. Oh, a leaf fell. I thought it was a wasp. Sorry. There's the culprit for making me jump. All right, got that pulled in, and now I'm going to go right back into the stitch of the neck. It's a little tight because that's where I actually tied off earlier. Oh, get in there. There we go. I grabbed it. So, want to pull that through. And what that is doing, what I'm doing right now, is I'm just tucking in these little edges, because I don't like how they look. All right, and I am going to continue doing this, running back and forth, and because I still have a lot of yarn tail to mess with. And I don't know, the more you run your yarn through the center, the more firm your piece will be. And if you have like little kids that's going to be playing with this, you kind of want it to be firm. That way, oops, now I did that time. I apologize. If you have little kids playing with it, you want it to be structurally sound, I guess you could say. And this is one way of doing it. But right now, I came out right there. Let's see. I'm going to go right back down through that hole, and I'm going to come out. I'm just going to poke it. I'm just going to poke it, see where it comes out. There it is. All right. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and run back through the loops, because they just look a little sloppy. And if you do like this, then it kind of tucks them down in place. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. You probably couldn't see. No, you could not. Pretty sure you could not see that. But yeah. And here I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. I'm going to run it back through just a couple more times, because we do still have the other parts to sew on, and they're also going to have yarn tails that's going to need to be tucked away. So that will even still yet create more structure to your piece. And this last one, I'm gonna see where I came out at. I'm coming out right here. So I'm gonna pull that on through. See, it's just playing it by ear when it comes to piecing these things together. Do it however you see fit, however you are comfortable, and it's your work. I mean, whatever makes you happy, that is all that matters. Okay, don't stress over it. Don't stress the small stuff. So, and don't give up. Don't give up. Don't say you can't do something, because you can. As long as you tell yourself that you can and you just keep trying, then you will succeed. And I'm running it through the neck. Pull that tail through. Run it through the neck, and then I'm going to run it back down through the shell. And it's getting a little stiff down through there because of working it. Just keep going. Alright, so I have that on there secured enough. I mean, it is still drooping down, but like I said, before we're done, it's going to end up, you know, like that. Or even like this one. You see, he's all good and, you know, sturdy. But, yeah. That's what we got right now. So I'm just going to pull that through here and snip this piece off here. And then it just tucks itself away. Mine is just a little bit sloppy looking, but like I said, we have these other pieces to put on, and I'll straighten that up. See, there's how these look right here. And I just run it through and through and through, and just to where you know, I'm happy with how stable the head is. This one is a little bit more stable than this one, but I call them organic. You know, it's however they turn out, that is just fine. But I'm still going to keep this tail here just for good measures, just in case it's not stable enough for my liking when I get these other pieces on. Because the head is absolutely not where I want it to be at this moment. I want it up here. And this bottom part, I don't want it so rounded. I want it more flat like this. And these here, believe it or not, these two here, they started out that way too, as well. But by messing with it and working with it and squishing it and all that, then it works out. Alright, so on to, from here, I like the next part to be the tail. So the smaller piece of, or other pieces, is the tail. So I'm going to work it just as I did the neck. I'm going to put these two pieces, or I'm going to squish it together, and I'm just going to run my yarn tail from one side to the other, closing up that little gap. And I like to, like the tail, I don't stuff the tail, but like the little feet, I like to stuff with regular yarn, because it makes them more sturdy, to where whoops, that little dude fell over. They're actually standing on their own, and their feet aren't all splattered out. They're actually standing up. So once you get that little piece closed up a little bit, I like to line it up straight across from the head on the opposite side. Oops, if I get it turned right. And it don't have to be exact. But closer the better, to being centered. Okay. And it is easier if you have like straight pins to use, but I don't have any, so I just have to eyeball it. And again, I'm just going to run up through the back, you know, the ridge on that back. Just take it up through. That looks fairly straight, I guess. And then go right back down through the very next stitch. Get my tongue on untangled here. And then back through the tail and give that a pull, holding it down a little bit tighter. And then again, it's just repetitive from here on out. Just getting everything tacked down and placed how you want. But obviously you can tell what it is now. It is going to be a little turtle. I mean, I gave that away a long time ago, but yeah. Like I said, if you had already made all the pieces, I was pretty sure that you were going to know what we were going to end up with. So, I hope this was been, you know, fun for you. It's, like I said, it's just a beginner little amigurumi. I think anybody could do it who knows how to do, you know, increases, decreases, single crochet, magic circle, you know. That's why I consider it as a beginner friendly. Now it is my very first, so please be kind. Be kind. I may be all over the place, but I mean, well, at least I'm trying. If I didn't try, then, you know, you don't never know you can do anything unless you try, right? So, this is my attempt at trying to show you how I do something. So, just, like I said, just keep going until you get everything secured the way you want. And I want to go back across over here because that seems like it didn't tighten up quite right. Oh, my tailbone is sore sitting on this bench. All right, let's, I want to run my yarn needle through there to secure, give it the back of that part of that stitch as to stabilize your yarn, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. Words are a struggle sometimes. Uh-oh, I lost it. All right, one more time. I want to go through here. Could be a little stiff, but just finagle it, finesse it, whatever, to doing what you want. And you just mess with it, just piddle with it, and you know, make it do what you want it to. Finagle, that's a good word. I like that word. Alright, I think that looks good. So I'm gonna give it just one more, let's see, how do I want to do it? I want to go back over here because that was just like loosey-goosey right there a while ago. So I want to just make sure that it is how I want. Now I want to get my tapestry hook, or my tapestry needle, as close to the tail as I possibly can get it, because I don't want too much of this showing. So from here I'm going to just run my tapestry needle straight through the tail from one side to the other. See how I did that? Just run it straight through. And this here piece right there is just kind of popping up. I don't want that, so I'm going to take my needle, go right over that little piece, and tuck it down. See how that tucked down? It went right into place. Man, I am all over the place on the screen. I hope this turns out right, because I don't have another turtle to piece together for you guys. So from here, I'm just gonna run my, I'm just gonna secure that tail in as much as I can. I kind of got it maybe a little bit short, but I've got this. I want to run back through these little, the back part of these stitches here. That way my tail will stay in place and my little turtle tail will be more secure. Once I get that in there, I'm going back up just a little bit, and then I'm going to go down and through the piece itself. And then I'm going to call it quits on this tail. Everything is in place, tucked in. I'm going to snip this off. We're going to give this a little squish. If it don't hide it, so yeah, there it goes. It hid itself then. All right, now on to the legs. So there's your head and there's your tail, fairly decently lined up. So you have 4 legs, obviously. And my legs, I don't go from side to side. I mean, like how we did the head and the tail. I just, I like it to where the feet are actually standing. See what I did there? I do still attach it to the ridge. I mean, try to keep everything, you know, like this one here I did a little bit different, but my goal is to get them to stand up on their own and not just flop. All right, so again, the legs, I'm going to do just like the other piece. I'm going to close up the little opening. Just close that up good. Just 2 stitches is normally all I do. It's good enough. So I'm going to turn my turtle over. And let's see, on these, I did like 1, 2, let's say 3 stitches over on the front. And then on the back, it was just like 2 stitches over from the tail. So, but it's basically wherever you want them to be. That's where you go. Like I said, this is your piece. It's your work. It's your turtle. Do it however you want, okay? And I am still stuffing my fluff up toward the top. Don't worry about the head. You can take care of that later. Oh my gosh, I'm almost to an hour on this video. I cannot believe it. Oh my gosh, guys. I apologize. I did not mean for it to take so long. no intentions of it. But I'm gonna stick my first foot about right here. And again, I just come up right behind that ridge. See, if you're going up behind where that ridge is, you're hiding your stitches pretty much back behind the ridge. That way nobody will see your stitches. Okay, run that through, bring it down, and then, and on the feet, it's a little bit more fiddly because it is smaller, and but just keep going. If you stitch your two, if you stitch this together where it's, you know, put together or whatever, it's easier. Let's see. Yeah, just go right through. Like I said, there's no right way or wrong way to do this. This is just the way I do it. And my hand is really sore. So if I moan and groan, it's, my knuckle is like so swollen and achy. I think it's the weather, I don't know. Or maybe it's because I've been crocheting like a mad person and doing all the sewing. That hurts too. See how that little leg just went on there? Now, to make sure that it don't just flop down like this, see, because I didn't catch my stitches on the back side, that's, I'm going to focus more on them stitches now to make the foot a little more stable. Like I said, there's no right way or wrong way to do it. You just have to do it. So I go back through, find a place and stick, and go back through, grab that stitch right there. I think that'll be good enough. Come on now, get through there. Doggone it. There it goes. Oops, shoot. It went and then I lost it. Alright, there we go. Oh, don't go through there. Alright, got it. Then give that a little tighten up. And then run it through. All the way through. Pull it down. And see how that pulled it down? Now it's steady. Steady, Eddie, Eddie. And now I'm not going to be too particular. I'm going to run my tapestry needle through these little stitches here, grounding that yarn tail. Now that I did that, I'm going to run it back through, and I want to come out kind of, let's say, right here. Now that is above the ridge line, but that's okay, because right now what I'm going to do, and I always run my tapestry needle back through and pull that through a little bit, especially on the top here, because we want this arched up more so than flat. We want the bottom flat, we want the top arched, you know, like a turtle. But okay, I have that pulled up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn needle and I'm going to run it through the neck or the head again, just a little part here. The wind is blowing my camera, and I'm going to take it right back through the very same stitch that we came out of. I'm going to run my tapestry needle through. Oh my gosh, it's hung up on something. Hang on, hang on. There it goes. I'm going to run it on through and watch what happens here. Voila. There. Now my head is more so like how I want it. See what happened? Alright, so I'm happy. I'm pleased with that. So now I'm going to anchor this yarn tail down Just run it between them little stitches, giving it a bite to hold on to. All right. And now I'm going to just take this on through the bottom right here, and this is where I'm going to start sucking this bottom portion up a little bit. So I took that through there, and I'm going to just run that. Let's see, I still want to tuck it away because the color don't match up quite, so I'm going to run it through the middle of them stitches there, and then back up through the top. And then that will kind of pull it in a little bit. And you're going to do that with every one of the feet, the legs. All right. So we can go ahead and snip this off. Tuck it in. And then move on to the other foot. So you want to get the other foot lined up. Now you do want these lined up, so they will stand. He will stand, and you know it'll look right. So just continue on. Get your second foot put on. My little head is a little bit crooked, but that's okay. We can fix that later. But go ahead and get your other foot tacked on. And then your other two, you want them, line them up. Let me show you on these. Just kind of get them, place them where you're comfortable. And sew them on. And whenever I get mine done, I'll be right back, okay? How do I pause this thing? There we go. There it is. All right. So go ahead and continue on. Add the other 3 of your feet, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. I got all 4 of my little legs sewn on. And let's see. Here's the true test. If he's going to stand on his own. Well, he's going to stand on his own. But is he going to stand up? And he did. He did. Yay. He could still be a little top heavy, but we're going to eliminate that problem. There's still some fine tuning, and that is why we have this yarn tail here. The multicolor yarn tail. Just to tighten everything up and pull his little head back a little bit further. Kind of like how this little guy is here. Pull his little head back, and what we'll do is, whoa, good thing that yarn tail was attached, or I'd have flung that thing across the park. And just go ahead and weave the yarn tail through your darning needle, tapestry needle, whatever you want to call your needle. Just do it. Alright, so I need to balance out his weight. So, and I don't really like how there's like a little pucker here, and it's probably just me. Nobody else is really going to notice that. But, we are our own worst critics, right? And just like where you run your yarn up and through and up and through, it's going to leave little dips in the back of your turtle shell. But just run your tapestry needle up and under it, and then pull up a little bit, and that'll get everything kind of evened back out. But on his head, I do want his head be a little bit tighter, so I'm going to run that yarn tail through the base of the neck, and it is attached to the the shell already. We're going to run that through the base of the neck and then back through the shell portion. It's a little tight, but that's okay. Yeah, a little tight. Pull that all down, and see, whenever I pulled that head up. So I'm thinking probably just a couple more stitches and it will be good. So we come back through the shell that time. So we're going to go back through the neck. Just down at the, down closer, because you don't want these stitches really to show. Not really. You just want to keep them kind of hidden. Let's see. This one here, I'm going to back up just a little bit, and then I'm going to go back through that shell, and this time I'm going to go completely all the way through. Come out back here. Did you see what I did? Oh, my finger hurts. This finger is like, oh my gosh, screaming. It's so sore. Let's see. Let's see what this does. Alright, it just kind of tucked away, pulled everything, left a little bit of hole there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the base, back behind part of the stitch, like through the top of the V's, I guess you could say, kind of like. I don't know how to explain it. I just want to get a good bite, so to speak. And now I'm going to take yarn back through that hole right here that I just came out of, because I don't really want this yarn to just, well, it actually matches with this. It's the corrugated, so I don't guess it would really matter, but yeah, like I said, I am my own worst critic, so I don't really want that. Taking that back through the bottom, like the base, and where the head is attached onto the shell. Seeing that tucked away nicely to where you don't even see that lighter color. And here I'm gonna just try to fill in that hole a little bit. Run that yarn through and then back through, coming back out the top of the turtle shell. Like I said, guys, there's no right way or wrong way of doing this. Just do it however you see fit, and I think that's fine. His little head is going off to the side a little bit, but then who's to say he's not looking sideways? Or you can just, mess with him and keep going and get him just how you want it. But I think for me, and for the sake of this hour-long video that I got going on, I tried to hurry. I did. I tried to hurry. I don't think I jabbered too much. I don't know. But guys, if you have stuck with me this long, please, if you don't mind, giving me a thumbs up. And leave a comment below. How is your 4th of July weekend? Or how did your weekend go? Today is the 3rd of July. It is Monday. Tomorrow will be in the 4th. My honey is off work. Yay, yay, yay. That don't happen very often. I think we may end up having us a little fire out in the yard. It's just the two of us. Our kids are older, so we don't do the whole firework thing. But if our neighbors are, then we enjoy theirs. But there's my little turtle, and he's standing on his own, and his head is, you see, it's not all straight and flat like it was earlier. And yeah, he's turning out pretty cute. Pretty cute, pretty cute. I am going to tuck this bottom shell up just a little bit more right there. So I'm going to just run my needle or my yarn down through the bottom, up through the top. Again, the wind is blowing. My phone is wiggling. I hope y'all are not getting seasick. And then I'm going to just give this a snip and call it good. Oh. Let's make some noise right now real quick so I don't get, you know, in trouble. Oh my God, that is a really nice car. It's really super nice. It's a vintage Monte Carlo, one of the big boat ones, you know what I mean? Ah, lovely. Lovely. But anyway, you know what I mean? But there's our turtle. There is the turtle. There is my very first surprise amigurumi. Come crochet with me. Crochet with me at the park. It's a lovely day. Beautiful, beautiful day. So now, guys, we got the turtle put together. He is standing up. He's not flopping over. He's not, you know, the best one I've always, you know, that I've ever made, but he's still pretty dang cute. Still pretty cute, and he stands up, so I cannot complain. And he goes right along with his other little buddies here. So now what we want to do is attach the facial features, which is just going to be, you know, eyeballs and a little bitty baby mouth, I suppose. I am letting I'm trading out needles. I'm going to get my small one. And my number 10 crochet floss, cotton floss. And I'm just going to show you. Let's see. It is, like I said, it's a number 10 cotton floss. So, or cotton, crochet cotton. Anyway, whoa, I did that. That was my fault. Here comes that car again with his radio going on. I hope I don't get a copyright thing. I just gotta keep on talking. Keep on talking. Da 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 da. Boo 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 boo. Go ahead and thread your yeah, it's a nice car. I can't show you, but anyway, take my word for it. It was nice. I hope I don't get a copyright because of his loud music. Thinking everybody wants to hear it. But anyway. Alright, onto the face. I went ahead and whenever I threaded that, I'm going to go ahead and work it double. And see how that works. I'm going to put these two little guys back in the bag. And then I'm going to work on his little face. And so what I do here is I just, you know, just determine on, you know, where do you want the eyes to be on your little guy. Kind of mess around with his head, kind of, you know, how, you know, see how you want it. Because you can still use this yarn tail to tighten things down even more if you see fit. But I'm just going to run this yarn through the very back side of the head. Make sure you have a good hold. Don't go in between your stitches. Okay? And then just find a place. Where do you want your eyes to be? And I want mine to be kind of off to the side. Dang, flies are biting me. And pull that through. Not all the way through because you want to keep a bit sticking out because you'll see why. I'll show you. I will show you. Alright, let's just run. Let's see. Let's run it straight up. And then let's go across. I think it's going to be, let's see. Let's run it across. Make sure you get it on the, you might need to just manipulate it a little bit. Run it straight across. There's one eye. And then take this one straight down. You can run it even, let's see, what do I want to do? Run it straight down, and let's bring it down to the center. Let's go ahead and create a little mouth while we're at it. And once again, there's no right way, no wrong way. You know, your little guy just needs some eyes and a mouth, that's all. You can, you know, do it a couple times to make him more prominent, which I will probably do. But I'm just going to give a little V for his little mouth. Let's see. Like so. Whoa, hooked around his little foot. And then go back down through, make his little V mouth, and then I'm going to come back right up through there, and I'm going to go over his eyes one more time just to be a little bit more prominent on him, like I said. Just right back up, go across to the next eyeball. Eyeball, it's not eyeball, it's just an eye. Alright. You came out on the top of that one, so you want to go back through the bottom. And then from here, you want to take your needle and push it all the way back through to the back and come out the exact same spot that you went in, okay? And I'll show you why. All right. You don't want to pull him too tight because you don't want him to be all... Mine's a little bit cattywampus just because yeah. But it's organic. Don't panic, it's organic. I have a t-shirt that says that. But anyway, from here you came right back out the same hole that you went in, right? So you're going to go ahead and tie this in a knot. Tie your working tail with your tail. Tighten that up a little bit. And I do a double knot. And then I'm going to snip off the little short piece. It's just a little bit shorter. Don't worry, you do have a little knot there showing, but the reason why you went through the same hole that you went in at is because now you're going to go right back through there. And you're going to pull that through. And then with any luck, it's going to suck it all up. Bam. See that? It sucked that right up. And then you just take your yarn needle, go through the next stitch, and just pull that in, hide it away, and snip this off here, like so. Again, take your needle, go through in here, and just kind of pull that tail and hide it. And there's our little eyes, his little face. Like I said, this is number 10 floss, but this is all that I had on hand this morning. I had to leave kind of in a hurry, and this is just all I grabbed. But number 5 works good. I like using the crochet floss. It just seems like it's neater to me. But I may end up going back over these eyes again, even still. But right now, there you have it. Like I said, if you have stuck with me, if you've watched my other videos, or if you haven't watched my other videos, please do so. That helps me out a lot. Please give me a like, a thumbs up, or even give me a heart. A heart. Do you love turtles? I love turtles, personally. And please like, share, and subscribe. That would be amazing. And let's hear it for the turtle gang. What do you say? Are they cute? Did you like my video? I know it was kind of all over the place, and you know, but that's me. That's just who I am. That is, I have nothing planned. I just do as it comes to my head, and spontaneity keeps life interesting, right? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, guys. But once again, I hope you all have a very safe and happy 4th of July holiday. God bless you all. And thank you so much for being here with me, joining me in on my little amigurumi excursion. Even though I really don't know what I'm doing, I'm just doing it, just for sake of doing it. So, thank you once again. All right, guys. Peace out. I love you all. That's not I love you. That's I love you. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.